Hi everyone! Today I'm going to share with you how to make an arch trellis from a cattle panel. Now we're going to make a brand new arch trellis from a cattle panel over where our grapevines are on the other side of the yard. Now if you guys have been following us for a while, you know we've had a lot of problems growing grapes over the past several years because we don't have a trellis that's big enough and they kind of trail on the ground and the birds, the rats, the critters eat us out of house and home. So I'm super excited to get this cattle panel built over there so that we can have a nice sturdy trellis for our grapes. Now cattle panels are very easy to build, they're inexpensive, they're super sturdy. This one I grow scarlet runner beans in the summertime. It's great for trailing vegetables, heavier vegetables like butternut squash or watermelon. And we're going to show you how to do it today in 3 easy steps. When you grow vertically in your garden, you can save a ton of space, grow a lot more vegetables or fruits in a smaller amount of space. Really excited to get this built today, and camera guy is going to jump in on this project with me. So let me just start off by showing you where we're going to install our arch garden trellis. So here is our grapevine, and as you can see, the trellis that we have on it now is completely inadequate. For years I've been wanting to install a nice sturdy trellis for these grapes, so I'm very excited to finally be getting that done. The first thing you're going to need for this project is a cattle panel. Now we are actually using 2 cattle panels that we had left over from a previous project, and if you're not familiar with cattle panels, they are large pieces of fencing. You can see this one is 4 feet by 16 feet long. Super sturdy.
Yeah, these things are Riley. You gotta just be safe about it and hang on to them.
That's right, so you definitely need someone to help you with this project. The wire is very thick. It's a 4-gauge wire, so it's plenty strong enough to hold up the grapes or a lot of heavier vegetables as well, but it can really get away from you. Now, one of the most challenging parts is finding a cattle panel, especially if you live in the city. We had to actually drive about an hour to a Lowe's.
Yep.
When we first got this one, they're also readily available at Tractor Supply. If you live in a rural area, there's lots of Tractor Supplies. You probably have better luck of finding one there.
Yep, call ahead, make sure they're holding it for you too. Save
Definitely
you the trip.
call ahead. And we actually fit this one in the back of our Suburban, believe it or not. So you definitely will need a larger vehicle to pick up your cattle panel. Now it is a little bit of effort to get your cattle panel down to where you want to build it in your garden, but it's definitely worth it. I think it's the least expensive, sturdiest trellis you can buy. These usually run around $25, so you really can't go wrong with that. Now the next supply you're going to need are some U-posts. Now we're using 6 because we are putting together 2 cattle panels for our arch, and these are 4-foot U-posts. And then Jerry's got a couple of other supplies that we need.
Well, these are called U-posts, just so you know, because they are shaped like a U. And you'll see why that comes into play a little bit later on during the install. I'm using just some tie wire here and a sledgehammer, definitely to get these posts in nice and deep.
First thing I'm going to do is remove the old trellis. So I think we're going to have to go ahead and cut it away here. Now I did just recently prune the grapevine, and you can go back and watch a video I did a couple years back on how to prune a grapevine if you're not sure how to do it. It's really pretty simple once you learn a few basic tips. And we are going to leave this little wooden structure here just to support the grapevine while we're building our brand new trellis. We should be ready to remove the last piece here of the old trellis very carefully.
Slow and easy.
So we don't break the grapevine here. Oh, I think I need one more cut right here.
All right, I got it.
There we go.
Nice, muscles.
Nice. Yeah. 1, 2, 3.
We're
Okay,
good.
I think we're good. If we can get it past this tree now.
Well, wait a minute, I got hose.
One more drip irrigation hose.
All right, it's all you.
Okay, got it. Now our grapevine does look pretty bare now. It is dormant right now, so now is the perfect time to install the arch. But it's making me a little bit nervous without any support around it, so I found these tree branches laying around our yard that have a little Y shape in them. So I'm just going to stick them down under here as a little temporary support. And once the weather starts to warm up, probably in March or so, this will leaf out and be absolutely beautiful over the arch. We've laid out some visual aids just to define the space where our cattle panel is going to go and help us all visualize it a little bit better. So we've got about an 8-foot space here, 8-foot long space here. That's enough for 2 cattle panels. So we're going to pound in some T-posts and put our cattle panel arch in behind our grapevine. It's going to arch over to the other side.
So the distance we'll have from one side of the panel to the other is going to be about 3 feet. So keep in mind, The greater the distance, the lower your cattle panel arch is going to be. The closer the distance, the higher it's going to be. So do it to your preference or whatever space you have available.
Step one to install our garden arch trellis is to pound in the U-post so the trellis has something to hook to. We're going to put 4 stakes in to start off with on every corner. I've got my measuring tape here lined up at 8 feet, which is the approximate length of the trellis. And we're going to pound our U-post in about 8 inches from the end. You don't want to put it on the very end. You want it a little bit in, just so you have stability for your trellis. We're going to pound it about a foot or so into the ground. U-post number 2, we're going to pound in right in the middle here, right behind the main branch of the grapevine. So I'm putting the U portion of the post facing towards me to make it easier to tie the cattle panel on with the wire. Post number 3 is going to go directly across from post number 1 to form the other side of our arch. Post number 4 is going to go right in the center here, directly across from our grapevine to form the other side of our arch. So far we have 4 U-posts in, and that will be the support for our first cattle panel. So step 2 is to install the cattle panel. So we're going to go grab that. So we're going to slip the cattle panel here behind the grapevine and butt it right up against the T-posts. It's going to go inside the U-posts. Jerry, I think you're going to come a little bit closer in here.
Okay.
The fact that we have a grapevine in here makes it a little bit more challenging. If you have nothing in the middle, it would be a lot easier.
Good?
Yep.
All right, now let's go down slow.
You should be able to slide it down. And the tension
hang on.
from the cattle panel should hold it into place.
Yeah, there we go. Okay, now I'm going to lift up and push towards you.
Sounds good.
And you receive it, and we'll walk it in together nice and slow.
Got it.
Here we go. Moment of truth, everybody. This is a loaded spring, so be careful. Work together.
We're putting it behind the U-posts. So the U-posts will hold it into place.
I'm down.
Oh my gosh, look at this.
Yay!
Our garden arch trellis for the grapevine.
Your
It's finally here.
Grapevine trellis.
I am just envisioning those grapes hanging down.
All right, let's fasten it.
Fasten it down, then we'll install the second cattle panel trellis and
rinse
the other
and repeat.
2 T-posts.
Now we're going to set the next 2 U-posts for our last piece of cattle panel. We're going to overlap them 8 inches for stability. So keep that in mind. We're going to overlap. To set the next U-post, measure 32 to 34 inches from the end of the cattle panel we just installed. That's where we'll put in our next U-post.
Last U-post going in. We're going directly across from this one here. As soon as this one's in, we'll be ready to set our second cattle panel for our arch. All right, second cattle panel install in progress.
We're going to overlap this inside of the existing piece.
Trying to not break my grapevine.
Yeah, you got the hard part there.
Okay, there we go. This is the trickiest part. Oh, we got this.
Okay, but we need to go in. So I'm going to lift up to make it lower. Go ahead and take a step back. I'm going to make it lower so we can fit in this existing.
There we go, perfect.
There we go. Ready?
Yes.
Okay, 3, 2, 1, pull. Step 3, we are going to connect the cattle panel to the U-posts in multiple places using some tie wire. So you take about a foot. Doesn't have to be exact.
That's a 12 gauge tie wire?
Yep, this is 12 gauge. We'll double it for strength. And we're going to do the typical cross under type fastening here. We're going to make a U shape out of it. We're going to slide the U shape through, and on the other side we'll make an X. Pull it nice and tight. And we'll bring it up. And we make another X. And now we're going to twist 3 times, keeping it tight. Take your wrench now, we're going to bend up just to kind of cinch it down. and 3 more turns. 1, 2, 3. Now it's really on there snug, and we're going to snip all the excess. Now this is not safe, right? Someone's going to get caught on this with your leg or something, so we're going to push this into the U-post channel. Watch that, look at that. With the first one in place, because of the length of our U-post, we're going to go ahead and put another tie wire crossover under up here, and we'll work our way throughout the rest of the cattle panel. Well, not all of our squares line up perfectly. Not all of my cinchings here are perfect, but I'm going to cut some more off of that one. You know, that's okay, as long as it holds in place and you make things work for your setting there. Now we have limited space on this side of the cattle panel, so we made our U-post facing inside. That way we can tie it nice and tight and tuck it into the U-post channel. If you've got space on that side, great. Turn your post the other way around and do it that way.
Now what I'm going to do is attach my grapevine to our new trellis. And we're just going to kind of set it up in here on the arch and attach it with my little plastic stretchy tie tape that I always carry in my pocket in the garden. I cut a little piece off here. It looks like this piece right here is going to rest right on this support, but this cordon here definitely needs some support with the stretchy tape. So we're just going to tie it up here. What I decided to do was grab a piece of twine and attach the main stem of the grapevine to my U-post here to give it some extra stability. That way it will stay in place and we won't have any problems with it falling forward as it grows here in the spring. Don't want to pull too tight because we don't want to break that main branch, but the twine should do the job here. Well, I'm so happy to finally have our arch trellis out of a cattle panel up over our grapevine.
Yeah, I'm really happy for you too. She has been wanting this for a long time.
I have, for several years, I think. So it's a super quick, simple, inexpensive project to do, a great way to trail your heavier vegetables or your trailing vegetables, and it looks really visually appealing too, and will save you a ton of space. So comment below, let us know if you're going to be building one, and make sure you subscribe because we are going to be starting the Spring Garden series very soon. In fact, you may want to grab your Spring Garden seed collection at calicumgardenhome.com so you're all ready to grow along this spring with us. Thanks so much for watching. We'll see you on the next video.